Hello and happy holidays from us at Financially Forever After, a Love and Money podcast. We are your hosts, Lindsey and
Brett. Do you ever gift?
Do you even gift?
Do you even gift?
Yeah, do you?
Do you even gift
Look like a little Christmas.
Junkweiler, the money
I
maker?
call you Buddy today.
Buddy,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing this hat. I don't think it's staying very long.
Christmas.
I was like turned and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Ear.
That could get a little noisy.
Yeah.
This is our last episode of our beautiful Christmas sweater attire.
Yeah. We had some fancy outfits last episode. So if you have not checked that out, where would you check that out?
So you can watch us on YouTube because that's the best way to check it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to hear us.
You're going to hear a lot about it, but you ain't going to see
So
it.
I got, do you even give? Ever give? Even give?
Even give.
Guy all jacked up lifting, and then you have what?
Treat your elf.
Treat your elf.
Treat your elf.
Okay.
Like treat yourself, treat your elf.
Oh,
Got it?
I get it.
Yeah.
I was like, give your elf something, but no, you're like,
Little play on words there. So what's new? What's going on with you?
Okay, so I subbed in a cornhole league, which I like cornhole. I'm actually pretty good at it.
What is cornhole for those that
Cornhole don't know. There's like a board made of wood with a hole in it, and you take like 4 beanbags in essence, and you throw it in the hole. That's it. You get 3 points if you make it, 1 on the board, and they cancel out. So pretty much race to 21. Whoever scores the fastest, you got a teammate. So anyway, playing cornhole, and we played 2 matches a night. So finished the first match, going in their second match, and everybody's got a team name. And the team name was like Starbucks. So I'm like, okay, well, that's unique. That's fine.
they really like Starbucks?
Yeah, and I try to be a nice, friendly little chap. I go over to him. I never, met these people before for the most part. I'm like, hey, I'm Brett. What's your name? And so when I did it for this game, I'm like, hey, I'm Brett. What's your name? He's like, Starbucks. And I'm like, no, like not your team name. Like, what's your name?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, that's my first name, Starbuck. Excuse me.
Weird.
Your name's Starbuck. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Here,
That's
you
cool.
go back.
That's cool. I'm like, yeah, there's no coming back for that. And now I got to like stand next to you for the next 15 minutes playing this game.
It was
And-
Starbuck, not Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks. So I was like, his parents get lucky at Starbucks. And that's what
How
I call
old was this guy?
I would say upper 40s.
Oh, well, there's no recommendation because I don't even think Starbucks existed.
Oh, I
that long.
bet it did.
I don't think
I don't know, but
He would have been born in the 70s.
I apologize, Starbuck. I didn't realize that was a first name.
Yeah, maybe.
So if you're listening, my bad.
I've done that before with the. So funny you bring up names. I don't think my family ever did this to you, but I was talking to a friend about how her family, whoever she would bring home for the holidays, they would purposely mess with them and say the wrong name. So your name is Brett, for instance, and they would purposely just call him Brent or, whatever variation, close Brat, you know what I mean? Purposely. But he was so nice and he'd be like, okay, he would just answer. But some guys would probably be really offended by that. Like, that's not my name. But it was kind of a way for them to test, like, is this a good, cool guy? Is he going to be able to hang with us or not? But I was on Instagram just flipping through things and a reel came up and he said something like to the daughter's boyfriend, like, whatever you do to her, you're going to have to do to me. And boyfriend was holding his daughter's hand. So the dad just came up and was holding his hand in front of the whole family. And the boyfriend was just awkwardly like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And people were getting mad, like saying the dad was insecure and all these things and he doesn't trust the daughter. I thought it was hilarious. We have a son. And I'm like, I hope whoever he dates, they put him through the ringer because where's the fun if they don't? If they're just like, okay,
if you can't torture
just
who can you torture?
You got to give them a little bit of something, test them.
I mean, what did the daughter say? You would think
the daughter was just laughing because she knows we're
like, oh,
that's just my dad.
Good luck.
What if everyone can't hang knowing that's how her dad is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's part of the fun. So, and we have 2 daughters. I feel like, I don't think you're going to hold their hand, but I feel like we're going to do something to mess with them just a little bit.
Test them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will not be.
Where's the fun? So yeah, if you have kids, let us know what's your holiday things.
That's the quirky thing that we will make a new boyfriend, girlfriend, whatnot. How do you put them through the ringer? So where can they leave a comment or ask a question?
Comment on our Instagram, our Facebook, YouTube. So all our social media platforms.
So go to financiallyforeverafter.com and leave us a comment and tell us what you did. And if we get some good ones, we will.
Maybe this is their first holiday meeting that boyfriend or girlfriend. So write in and we can talk about it.
Yeah. Maybe
how those holidays go. So yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the topic today. So it's a little bit heavier today. Last year we covered grief. You've obviously experienced grief, the loss of your mom. Holidays are hard, obviously. So someone had actually wrote in about this, so I wanted to cover this as a topic, but have a little intro leading into it. And then I want you to weigh in on your opinion here. So if you've experienced a significant loss this year or anytime recently, you know what I'm talking about. You walk into a shop playing Jingle Bells and it feels like a cheerful tune and it feels less like a cheerful tune and more like an assault. We are bombarded with messages of family, togetherness, joy, and celebration. But the problem is grief doesn't take a holiday break. It doesn't look at the calendar and say, okay, let's pause Thanksgiving dinner and resume on December 26th. And that mismatch between how we are supposed to feel and how we actually feel creates this incredible internal pressure cooker. You're expected to show up, smile for the family photo, and pretend everything is okay. But when a piece of your world is missing, especially the person who used to carve the turkey or sing off-key carols, those traditions don't bring comfort. They become painful triggers. They are loud reminders of the silence. So the question is, what do we do? Do we have permission to opt out of the holidays? Maybe this is the first holiday they're experiencing without that significant other, that loved one, that mother, that child. What would you say for this? Because your mom passed away on New Year's Day. So that day is always going to be a hard day. You know, most people celebrate New Year's Eve. It's a to-do. You're celebrating the bringing in a new year. But for you, there's always going to be that dark cloud of that was the day your mom passed away.
Yep.
But kind of touch on this topic for the holidays, for those that are maybe experiencing this for the first time.
So I would say, for me now, granted, I mean, this could be a child, this could be a spouse. So they hit differently. You know, they hit differently depending on who it is. So for me, for my mom, you know, I have other siblings, and I think that it would be much better, in my opinion, to spend that with other siblings that are going through the same thing that you are, to have somebody there for you, rather than it would be just doing it on your own. Now, granted, you might say, all right, well, I have a spouse or significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, or kids I can spend. Okay, well, that's fine. At least you're with somebody. But I think if you're like, I'm going to opt out and just try to do it on my own, then you're just going to think more and more and more about it and be more sad. So my opinion is try to find a way to spend it with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Would you, I mean, obviously, you're talking about spending it with someone else, but you didn't mention the holiday part. Do you feel like sometimes not celebrating the holiday might be the better route? You're still together, but maybe you're not putting up the tree. You don't feel like celebrating because it's hard. It's a hard year or whatever. Some people have lost loved ones recently within, a month or a couple of weeks, and Christmas is just going to not feel the same. So what would you say for people like that, where it's fresh, it's really fresh?
I mean, yeah, it will. I mean, we got clients here recently, good clients of mine that, the wife unexpectedly passed away, and I spoke with him here after Thanksgiving, and he's like, we'll call her Suzanne, not her, but we'll say Suzanne, and he's like, Suzanne really was like, the heart of the family, and she kept everything together, and she was all about the holidays and all about Thanksgiving and all about, upcoming Christmas, and, he goes, it's going to be tough. And it was tough at Thanksgiving. And I'm like, firsts are always the toughest. It doesn't mean that the seconds won't be hard, or the thirds, or the fourth time around, as those holidays hits. But I just try to think for myself personally, and tons of other people going through it to different degrees. What would they want? What would they want you to think about them in their memory, and to feel and to carry on traditions and things of that nature? And how can you, help their legacy live on?
Yeah.
What do you think?
One of my favorite movies, and it obviously hits harder now because of our situation, is The Family Stone. And I know you can even watch that movie anymore, but the mom she was the same, the heart and the soul of that family. And it shows the family fast forward the next year, and the mom's gone. They're still gathered around the tree. They're hanging her special ornament, and they all just have a smile on their face because it makes them think of her. So that might not be for everybody, though. I know for you, your grief stages didn't go in order. And I would think that that's the case for a lot of people. You think, okay, I'm going to grieve. I'm going to go through the anger stage. I'm going to go through all the different stages. But I feel like it came in different waves for you, too. It's sometimes you would be fine and things wouldn't trigger. And then other times it was like a tidal wave. So did you feel, I should say for New Year's, do you feel New Year's is a harder holiday for you? Not as necessarily as Christmas, but maybe New Year's, because that's actually when she passed?
I would say if I can keep my brain active and doing something, then, there's less time to be sad. But it's just kind of an ongoing thing. There's no one day that really triggers it more than the other, obviously that day. But, a lot of times you're smart enough for how my brain works. And that like, hey, keep me busy that day, or keep us active, keep us doing something. So, this year we're going to be gone and not home. So we will be actively doing something. My brother and his family are going to join us. So have him there for that day as well.
And that's, almost like a celebration of life too. I know that you and I did that with the kids the first New Year's after she had passed. We took the kids and it was in California, but so we were at the ocean, but we got flowers and we threw to the ocean. We did a little memorial on the beach, and because our kids were young, like it was hard for them to really wrap around too. So I think it was, especially our son, I think is he a sixth grader at the time? I think he was. Our oldest was a sixth grader. And he hadn't really...
Fifth or sixth, yeah.
shown too much emotion or really he was just more stoic about it, I would say. And I think that really just allowed him to just let go. And he just got emotional and he kind of broke down. And I think that was like a good release for him too, is, acknowledging it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to have grief. It's okay to remember, but also to talk about it too. And some people, maybe you're not at that stage right now. Maybe you can't talk about it. Maybe it's too hard. It's too fresh. So what you mentioned earlier about seeking support and having your close confidants, whether it be family, maybe it's friends, to be around and really get you through the holidays. Maybe you decide to do something completely different and get away from your typical traditions, and maybe you're doing something new this year. Like you mentioned, taking your brain off it. Maybe you're going on a trip, fill in the blank, whatever it is. There's no right or wrong way, I would say. I feel like everybody does grief different. Maybe people feel comfort in celebrating and doing the exact same things every year the way that person would have done it. Maybe that brings them comfort. Other people might disagree. Maybe they think that we're going to start all things new because it's too hard. It's too hard to do it that way. I know that there is a classmate of my daughter's that just recently passed away, just at the age of 11, which is super young and terrible. And I know his parents are struggling hard. And she debated, he was always into doing the elf on the shelf. And it was such a big memory for him and something he really looked forward to. And so she's continuing that tradition on without him, and knowing that he's hopefully looking down from heaven and smiling and joining in on the fun. But that brings her peace, and she knows that that's something he looked forward to every year. And I think that helps her get through her days as well. And I don't want to speak for her, but I know me as a mother, that would I would feel comfort in knowing that that's something my kids enjoyed as well. So any other things you would recommend for those listeners that are experiencing the holidays for the first time without their loved ones?
No, I mean, I just go back to try to do something in their memory. You know, if it could be hey, I lost my dad. You know, if you're a child or regardless of age, all right, well, what did your dad do? Or maybe you go around and you talk on what was a good memory that you had of them, of that person, and then you can just kind of openly share. You know, when we were at Bible group together last week, we talked in our group, and like my sister actually said, 'cause she's in their same Bible group, she said that you can not be both anxious and grateful at the same time. So like think of things to be grateful for. Now granted, grief and anxiety are two different things. Absolutely. But I just think like if you can think of the grateful things and you're not thinking of all the reasons to be sad. So it could be something similar. Now granted, it might be like, oh, well, shortly after that, I go back to being sad.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you lose a loved one, whoever that may be, however close they are, it hurts, it sucks. And it sucks to get through, but, just do things that can value their memory and their legacy and what they've done while they were on this earth.
Absolutely. Yeah, someone had sent us a card after your mom passed, and it still sticks with me to this day, is that when you lose a loved one, you have a hole in your heart, basically, and that hole will never be filled, but you just learn to live with it. And I think that's true for any loss. That part of you will never be filled. It will never be replaced, but live to go on, and that you want to keep their memory alive as much as you can, and doing the things that they used to do and enjoy doing. Maybe it was a mother, and maybe she enjoyed baking. Maybe you incorporate baking this year. Maybe it was your dad, and he always did a live Christmas tree, and you have a fake one, but he really enjoyed getting that live tree. Maybe you go out and get a Christmas tree this year. And again, maybe you don't do any of those things. Maybe it's just too hard. And this might be a year where you go get Chinese food and you go to the movie theater and you just completely omit Christmas. And whatever it is, you got to do what's best for you, and seek support, talk to friends, talk to family, maybe seek a therapist to help you get through those hard times. So, but if you have questions, if you have other things you want to touch on as far as grief goes, feel free to write in. We'd like to cover any of those on future episodes. If you would like us to address those, where can they ask those questions?
Go to the website, financiallyforeverafter.com, and especially leave a comment. Apply to have me or one of my other advisors talk to you for 15 minutes and see what you got going on financially, how we can't help you out.
Or again, you can follow us on our social media platforms and like and comment or direct message us there. But yeah. Sorry to bring this down a little bit, but it's a lot of people are experiencing it right now. It's tough. I feel like grief is sometimes a faux pas topic that people are afraid to talk about, and it shouldn't be, because if someone's going through it, you really need to talk to them and see how they're doing and let them know that you're there for them. So what do you got for us today for finance?
Okay, so I was thinking about, the whole grief thing and how do you tie that into finances, and it just got me thinking of I had some clients that just, the husband had passed away a few years ago, actually during COVID, and then the wife just passed away here a month and a half ago, something of that nature. And so got two kids, one lives in Texas, one in Omaha, and one in Nebraska. And they, they're going through this tough time, and from a financial aspect, well, I should say, from emotional aspect, obviously you have all the grief that you got to go through, and that's tough. And when you get together in the holidays and whatnot, and that's probably going to look different. From a financial aspect, you got to think, oh my gosh, okay, we just had all this grief happen, and now I got to take care of all mom's accounts. And was she getting a pension? Yes. Okay. Was she getting Social Security? Yeah. All right. We got to call and we got to make sure those get stopped. And then from there, we have all these bank accounts and all these CDs and all like, what do I do? Where do I go to? How do I follow up with that? And then she had IRAs, and then she had Roths, and then she had various individual accounts. What do I do? So we try to walk them through that one by one and say, okay, well, life insurance is considered after tax, tax-free. So the life insurance amount, you're going to get that tax-free. You're not going to have to pay anything on it. And that's just going to go into your after-tax individual account. Then any other accounts, you had like CDs or other things that aren't tied to an IRA or Roth, that can also be an individual account. And then, she had some stocks and mutual funds that were not tied to a retirement account. That can be, so they all get grouped together. And then from there, she's like, all right, well, but she had IRAs, right? Oh, yeah, she actually had 3 or 4 IRAs with this. Okay, well, you can actually group all those together and just put them into one new beneficiary IRA. Now, quiz question.
Oh, no.
Okay. So there's 2 different rules in regards to beneficiary IRAs. One that happened if the person that passed away prior to the end of 2019.
Oh.
And then there's a new set of rules if they happen January 1st, 2020 and beyond.
Okay.
So if because this, the mom passed away, obviously 2020 and beyond, does she have, or I should say, does the 2 beneficiaries, the 2 sons, do they have a certain time frame that they have to have if like those IRA money that they're going to get, a certain time frame before those accounts got completely depleted? Any idea?
Is this just a yes or no question?
No, there is
a multiple choice.
So we'll say is yes or no first. Is there a certain time frame it's got to be depleted within or not?
Yes.
Yes. Good answer.
Yes.
1-for-1.
I like it.
Okay. And then the next question would be, there's no 50-50s. How many years do they have before that account's got to go to 0?
Okay. From when she passed to when they
there's certain rule. I think is you actually get, to the end of the 10th year
grace period
by December 31st or something. I'd have to look exact, but it's roughly a certain amount of years.
Okay, so gotta be depleted. Is it under 5 years?
No. It's over.
It's over 5 years. Oh.
Oh.
Is it under 20?
Under 20.
Under 10.
It's right at 10.
Oh, 10. Okay.
Yeah, so you got about 10 years. It's actually, I think you get technically a little bit longer. I think you go to the end of the year after that, or than the year that she passed. So, but it's right about 10. I'd have to look up. Oh, thank goodness. Ooh, that was so hot. Feel much better. Okay, so yeah, it's roughly about 10 years, actually a little bit more than 10 years that you have to have the money completely depleted within. And if you don't, there's penalties that apply. So on IRA monies, as you inherit that, talking about grief and receiving inheritances, should you get some, typically makes sense over then that 10-year window that you receive, or you get the money and then you have 10 years to get depleted, which means you could wait 5 years and then just take one big distribution if you wanted, or you could take some out every single year. But if you do have a good amount of income every year, you probably want to say, hey, I want 12 to 13% per year. So then you don't get to year 10 and then have to pull like 20, 30%. Because hopefully you had some growth. The other thing is she had some Roth IRA money too, and I had a couple Roth IRAs. It's the same 10-year rules. It's still got to be completed or depleted within 10 years, except on a Roth, the money, how does the money grow in a Roth?
Oh.
Does it grow taxable or tax-free?
Tax-free.
Tax-free. You're so good today. I love it.
Learning.
Money grows tax-free, get out. So you'd rather have your tax-free money keep growing and growing and growing, compounding tax-free. So let's just say, to make it simple, that the mom had a $200,000 Roth IRA. And so $100,000 goes to child 1, $100,000 goes to child 2. They, in theory, could let that grow for just shy or right about 10 years before they have to have it depleted. So if that $100,000 just say doubles during that time frame, then they could both cash in roughly about year 10, and they each have $200,000 all tax-free. So it makes sense to have that Roth money keep growing tax-free. So anyway, talking, kind of beneficiaries in regards to, the grief situation.
Was this unexpected for this client?
It wasn't unexpected because she had cancer.
Okay. So same for your mom, and your mom really had nothing in play either, which...
What do you mean thing in play?
As far as you took a lot on, but obviously you're a financial advisor. You knew what to do. She didn't have a burial plot. She didn't have a coffin, all these things. Mm-hmm. So what would you recommend to people, that they're having to deal with this stuff? Should they seek out a financial advisor, an attorney? Like, who's the person they should go to if they don't have knowledge of next steps on this?
I mean, the easy thing is they can always reach out to us at, go to financiallyforeverafter.com and, ask questions, leave a comment. It's like, who do I ask? Well, we can direct you exactly how to do that.
Yeah.
We actually have a sheet. When people become clients, typically we have a binder that we give out. And in the back of the binder, it's called the survivor's checklist. So on the survivor's checklist, it goes A through Z on like, you just had somebody pass away. What do you do? I mean, the last thing you want to have to do is worry about finances, who you go, who do you call, or whatnot, but it literally goes A through Z, everything on there and what they need to do. So if that happened to you and you want that survivor checklist, reach out to us, leave a comment on the website, Financially Forever After, and we can get you that checklist if something like that happened to you.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Financially Forever After, a Love and Money podcast. Securities offered through Great Point Capital, LLC, member SIPC. Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Acadia Life Insurance. Schunkweiler Financial is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, acronym AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Acadia Life Insurance are not subject to investment advisor requirements. AEWM and Acadia Life Insurance are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Schunkweiler Financial is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Schunkweiler Financial.